Thank you. So we'll be recording this, so after it will be available. So as I was saying, the first thing that I'm going to take you through is the I am center. I'm going to take you through I am center, then harmonic scanner, then Fierrrce Trade. So let's get started with the I am center. So here you just go to your login section, put in your name, your credentials, then log in. Then after it goes through, you come to the top left of your screen. I think on your phone it will be on top right, these three bars here. So you select them, they'll give you a drop down. So on this drop down, we have all the details there, history, applying. So today you're going to look at the I am center. Again, it will ask you for your credentials. Just give it. Oh, my account was expiring yesterday. Let me use the one for my wife.
I want to give me earphones. My earphones.
All right, so now we are on the page of I am center. We are on the page of I am center. Let me just mute everyone. Let me just mute everyone so that we get to hear very clearly. Okay, so everyone is muted. Now, on I am center, the front page will look like this. We have home on the left side. We have completions that will show you how you're doing on your academy. We have the academy, pep talk, and the back office. So today, let me just go to home. It's where we are. I hope people who are here are people who know where the academy is, but you can just look at it very shortly before we continue. So when you hit the academy, you know what you paid for, okay? You know that you paid for the Forex package, or was it HFX, or was it, it will be displayed on this particular page here. So for you, you understand English. That's why we are talking in English, not Spanish, not German. So you come here and hit the Forex English. So to take you to the courses that are there. We have Series 100, that's for general education. Series 200, required education, strategies, and advanced education. So you just start systematically. Start from the first one, the Series 100. What is there is the very basic Forex. What is Forex? What is traded? The history of Forex. You just complete all the courses here. If you come here, you just hit play. Then after you complete, there will be a section of you have completed that, move to the next, that way. That way you'll be able to monitor your progress in the academy. Okay, can you see my screen? There's someone who's complaining that my screen is blank. Mudel is saying that my screen that I'm sharing is blank. I can see. So Mudel, check your device because someone has confirmed that they can see. Okay, it's okay. So that is it about the academy. Just move. After you complete Series 100, by the way, you are able now to go to the live educators, take trades, and profitably enter the market. You can also take trades from Fierrrce after you've completed Series 100 and be profitable in the market. So that is it about the Series 100. Series 200 now, it will help you to sharpen your skill. Remember, this is an academy that will help you grow your trading journey. It's not just being given tips, just depending on the educators throughout your life. You can learn from this academy and become a profitable trader. So the next thing that you're going to go to now is the go live. That is the major thing of the day. So after you hit the go live on your left of the main menu, it will bring you on this page. And we want to go to live educators first. If you want to get education, if you want someone to follow, you have this educator that you've had, that is the best educator on Harmonics. Where do you get them? At what time are they live? If at this time you're now just arriving in your house and you want to just have some knowledge in the academy, where can you go to? Where is that TV that the presenter who presented this opportunity to you was talking about? So after you come to this page, you come to these three dots on your right, these three dots. So you hit them, it will give you word clock and live channels. So you go to live channels. You want to go live, go live. So live channels, you hit that, and then it will present to you which educators are live. So all these educators are live now as we speak. Okay, as we speak, all these ones are saying something, but I believe that all of them, they are not speaking English. There's no English speaking person here. We can just speak on the black, since Black Lives Matter, and see if we can, okay, that one we need subscription. Let me just hit on another one and see. So that one is live and you're able to access. Let's see what language they are speaking. My internet seems to be a bit weak. I don't know. So I can just come back and let me just select another one. I see if it is the internet or it is a problem to do with the speaker. So you can see this one is giving a trade, but I believe this is not English, maybe, probably, I don't know. We'll hear. So that's the entry price they've given you the take profit, the target. So you come here, you can take the trade, or you can just decide to listen in to them and learn a strategy that they use. Different traders use different strategies. So that is it. I don't know what language this person is speaking, but according now to the traders that you've been referred to by the person who signed you up, probably you'll be able to know when they are live, they will be here. All these educators are now live with us. So you can listen in and profit from their trades or profit from their education. So let me go back here. Now, you've been told that person so-and-so or trader so-and-so is very good with harmonics. Trader so-and-so is very good with this other strategy. But at what time do they come? At what time are they trading live? So to get to know the timetable, all these are educators, they are like teachers. They have their times when they are live on Go Live. So you come here, we have all the schools, all the academies that are offered in IAM. We have Forex, we have HFX, DCX, ECX. For all of us, or for most of us, we fall in Forex or HFX. I've not known, I don't know anyone in Kenya who is doing this too. So you come here, you hit Forex. If you want to know the educators who are there for Forex, and then the timetable will be presented. So for this first trader, this one, or educator, Mauricio, comes every Wednesday at 1:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That means we add like 7 hours. Yes, we add 7 hours to this time to get that time in our local time in Kenya. So this is going to be 1 plus 7, that gives you around 8. So 8:30 a.m., this educator is live teaching. The master of harmonics. If you want to master harmonics, Mani is one of the best traders in this platform. And it comes every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. At what time? At 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that means it comes every 5 p.m. Every 5 p.m. on Tuesday, you'll get Mani Quinones. At Wednesday, 5 p.m. At Thursday, 5 p.m. Right now, as you speak, I understand they have some other arrangements, specifically for Mani. It comes at 2 p.m. on Tuesday, 2 p.m. on Wednesday, and 5 p.m. and 5 p.m. on Thursday. So if you want to master the harmonics with Mani, for now, it comes at 2 Wednesday, Tuesday, and then at 5 on Thursday. It comes with another trader. So these other traders, there's all different strategies. So it's for you to decide which one you're going to blend with and which one also suits your time. You know when you're free, you know when you have time that you can spend to grow in this business. So you have all that. You have Lialen, she comes on Wednesday, on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Harish, I can see your hand is up. Any question on this? Very quickly, because we're going to have Q&A later, so I don't want us to take a lot of time in this. In questions right now. Okay, sorry by mistake. Okay, so so all these educators, you can set your time. You can set your alarm. At what time are they going to be live? You know, Kadhi Catlans, Bas Kujman comes from Monday to Friday at 8:30 Kenyan time. So all these educators, you can set your own time and your preference for what time you like to trade. So that is it about, for now, about the IAM Center. And the next thing that I'll do very fast, because I want us to be done by 8:40 so that we have question and answers. Thereafter, I want us to go straight to the harmonic scanner. So let me just log out from this. Hit the button for logging out. Then I just add something. Can we deal with that? We'll go to the harmonic scanner. Okay, let me just approach it from the Academy because I have it here. It will not be fair for me to go straight to it. Let me just approach it from the platform. Let me use my wife's account. You're logging again. Go to the 3 bars on your left. Then you come to all the links. Come to all the links. Press on it to give you the IAM Academy, IML TV, Harmonic Scanner, Pip Talk. So you select the Harmonic Scanner. The Harmonic Scanner is not this particular bar here. That is what I used to think, by the way. Then I usually come here, I'll come to this video, then I'll say, oops, this video doesn't exist. Then I'm like, oh, the Harmonic Scanner then is not existing. So we come to this particular button here, Connect Now. You come to connect now, you hit it. Then it will ask you for credentials again. You give it, then it logs in for you. It refreshes and it gives you the most recent scan that is there in the market. Very good scan here. And you can see from what we have, it has given us the entry point. It has given us the stop loss. It has given us the take profit 1, take profit 2, take profit 3. Okay. So what you do, it's recommended that you don't just come harmonic scanner, go to your MT4, put in this, put in the TP and the stop loss. I would recommend that you attend one of the trainings by our mentor, Randy, who teaches very well on the harmonic scanner, the most profitable way of using the harmonic scanner. Also, you can go to his YouTube channel. I'm not sure the name. I think Lilo can drop the name of the channel on the chat box. You can move to that channel just to watch as much videos, as much trainings on how to use the harmonic scanner profitably by Randy. That will be a game changer for you on harmonic scanner. We usually use it with my wife here. So let me just touch on something here. For example, this trade. Now you ask yourself, if this is this a sell or is this a buy? This trade is having the take profit below the entry. So this means that we anticipate that the market will move downwards for us to make money. Okay, so if the market is to move downwards, then it means that these are sell. So you're going to move to your MT4 after confirming, after all the confirmations, and make a sell. Now your entry point should be as close to this as possible. Okay, after you've confirmed with all the parameters. Then TP, we have TP1, TP2, TP3. Remember, this is an harmonic scanner. It doesn't just give trades and TPs anyhow. These TPs are based on previous highs and previous lows. Fred will touch on highs and lows. So if this is the first TP that has been given, don't just say, oh, this TP, this Carola here is for measuring the pips. This TP is very close. That's just 28 pips, but I don't want 28. I want 35. Okay, and say, now me, I won't go for this 28. I'll go for 35. Then I'll put my parameters and poof, sleep. You may do that, yes. It may hit your TP, yes, but since this TP1 is based on a previous high or a previous low, this market may come this way, hit the TP and rally up. So if you are not greedy to just go for your 35, you could have been in profit. But now, since that is what you did, it hits the TP for the harmonic scanner, then goes up, takes you out. You're in profit, but out of greed, you put your TP blindedly. That is not the way to go. Now, if you want more pips, then you need to be patient also. You need to be tolerant to the market, because this market may come this way, hit this TP, go up, come down, hit TP2, but that may take more time. So that's why you must decide, are you willing to be in a trade for a shorter period of time? And you remember, shorter period of time is not dictated by time, because market is moves the way it wants. It doesn't mean now we cannot attach time to it. We cannot attach 30 minutes or an hour to it. Okay, so you should be aware of that. But you know, this TP is more easily to be hit than TP3, obviously. So if you're putting TP3 only, then you must be aware of that it is harder for it to be hit. It is less probable than TP1. Okay, so that's a sell. Let's see if we can get another, another scan, which is for a buy. So you come here, these are brokers, they have scanned the market. We have 15 minutes and 1 hour. Let's go for 1 hour. Since this is 1 hour, yes, let's just go for 15 minutes and select UJ. That's another sell. Let me just look for a buy. KJ. It's taking a lot of time. Can go for another one. GCAD. Excellent. GCAD is a buy. Okay. Let me do that. So for GCAD, you can see the entry point was here. The stop loss is here. TP1 is here. TP2 is here. So since the take profits are above the entry point, then this means that this is a buy. This is a buy idea. So for you to get how many pips am I going to get out of this trade, you come to this on your laptop or your computer, hit on that ruler, then bring this cross, the cross, to where you are entering the trade. Okay? Let's say you're not entering at the green, you're entering at the point where the market is now. So you start there, you click, then you just slide upwards. So that will be 55 pips. Yeah, 54 to 55 pips. That will be TP1. TP2, 101 pips. TP3, close to 176 pips. So that's how you determine how many pips you're going to get out of this market. All right, and that is it about Harmonics Scanner for now. So that we go to our number 3. If you're still together, you can type in the chat box 222. If you're still together, just type in 222 on the chat box, ladies and gentlemen. Nice. I want to excuse Kimani in a very few minutes because this is something that I assume that you know. If you are in the Fierrrce Trading channel, then you should be able to know this. You should be aware of this. Okay. Okay. This is about taking Fierrrce Trades. And I'm told this is triple R. It must be triple R, ladies and gentlemen. So what are some of the rules or some of parameters that you must be keen about when you're taking these trades that Lillian sends every Tuesday? Tomorrow we're going to be flying the market, God willing. And Wednesday the same, and Thursday. This week is going to be awesome. But what are some of parameters you must look at? Number 1, okay? Number 1, decide what type of trader you are. What type trader you are. What does that mean? Number 1, we have scalp trading. Are you a scalper? Number 2, okay, scalper means that you're only taking around 10 to 20 pips. Number 2, are you an intraday trader? Intraday trading means that you're taking between 50, quite a number of pips to around 80 pips, let's say. Okay, let's say pips. Or are you a swing trader? What type of trader are you? Before you hit that buy or sell, just decide number one, what are you looking for in the market? So swing trading is 100 plus pips. 100 plus pips. This, as Kimani usually says, is not detected by time. Okay. But obviously, if you want 10 to 20 pips, that means you'll be out either in profit or in loss quite fast. 80 to 50 to 80, you take some time before you're out of market. And 100 plus, then you're very ready to move in the market. So decide before you enter a trade what type of trader you are. Number two, take notes. Take notes of the EP given, the entry point, very important. Is it in line with what is showing in your MT4? Okay. If it is not, how many pips away is it? How many pips away is it from your entry point as you are seeing or you're observing from your MT4? If it is more than 5 pips, me, I don't enter that trade. I just wait for the next trade, or I wait for a pullback. It moves down. If it was a buy, it moves down 5, 10, then comes back. At the entry, if they match, I'm in. Then I'm in for a buy and I'm able to take that trade. But if it's more than 5 pips, just wait for the next trade. You must not be in a rush while you're trading. Then also about EP, you should be able to, before you enter a trader, after you've observed the entry point, watch out on your lot size. Okay, this is a mistake I made because I don't want you to make it. Watch out, because maybe on your demo you had a lot size of one lot size of 1. Then you're here in a rush to enter a trade that has been called by Fierrrce. You are in a rush not to miss it. Then poof, you're in a live trading account, which is $50 with a lot size of 1. Hey, my friend, you'll be in for a bad day or an interesting day. It must not be a bad day, but it can be very interesting. Okay, so that is it. Number 3, note that you do not have to take all trades. You don't have to take all trades. Fierrrce will send more than 10 trades in a day, surely. And your account is only $100. If you enter all the trades 10 plus, they're all running, then you'll have over leveraged your account and you may risk blowing it, because pullbacks are here to stay. Pullbacks are anticipated in the market. So you don't have to take all the trades. For me, I take one at a time. Okay. My recommendation would be, if you're starting up, just take one trade for each $100 account at a time. Close that trade, move to another one, enter another one if it's called. So you don't have to take 100 trades for you to be profitable. Just take one, stick to it, close it, move to the next, or 2 maximum. That will be over 2. You're jeopardizing your account. So don't do that. Number 4, and the last one probably, calculate your TP and your stop loss based on the EP given by just calculate your stop loss and your take profit based on the entry point that was given by Lillian on that trade that she called. For example, you're entering a trade that has already moved in profit 5 pips. Then you're targeting 20 pips, okay? If you're targeting 20 pips, then your 20 pips will be different from that of Lillian. So on Telegram, you see just her posting, we have bagged 20 pips, ladies and gentlemen. Then you're there, your MT4 is just showing 13 because of the spread, of course. Then you're wondering, is this thing true? Why is she saying that they have bagged all these pips and mine is not showing up? That is the reason. So check your TP or calculate your TP and your stop loss based on the entry point that was given by Fierrrce. Bonus number 5. Please take responsibility of your trades. Nothing starts. I've read a book, Trading on the Zone. And that book is very nice. If you want to be a good trader without emotions, just read that book. It's called Trading on the Zone. Take responsibility of your trades. The fact that Fierrrce has analyzed the market, come up with a very good trade, it doesn't mean that she cannot be wrong. This is a market and it can behave in either way. So as you enter a trade, nothing will start before you hit that sell or buy button. Nothing will stop until you say, I'm out of the market, either in TP or in stop loss. And everything will continue happening, either in take profit or in blue or in red until you say stop. So everything starts and stops with you. So take responsibility of your trades. Don't enter 5 trades, then you're there, oh, these trades are in red. You started the trading. No one had a gun on your head to enter any trade that was called. Okay? So I hope that is clear. So ladies and gentlemen, let me finish it at that point. Let me end it at this point and welcome Fred, a man that I've known for some months now, a man who helped me have a trading view in my phone. I used my trading view on my phone even before I could use it on a laptop. It was very, very helpful for them. And also he helped me also to learn faster inside the market on how to analyze, how to just look at the charts. So let me unmute him. Fred, if you can hear me, you can take over. Ladies and gentlemen, you can just drop some fire emojis on the chat. Welcome, Mr. Kimani, Fred. Some fire emojis. If you're using
hi, good evening.
Just type fire. We'll appreciate. Karibu sana, Fred.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for the introduction, George, and for the first part that you've taken us through. Very informative. Thank you guys for showing up for this sort of basic advanced class, but on the basics. And my job today I'll try and take less than, but I'll see if I can do some 40 minutes. Today we'll be talking about stop losses. Get my calculator ready. Today we'll be talking about stop losses. Thank you for the fire emojis, everyone. Naziona, giving me some energy. Today we're going to be talking about stop losses. And if I can be allowed to share my screen. I hope you can hear me, by the way.
Yeah, yeah, we can hear you, Kimani. Let me just allow you to share.
Okay. Okay. Today we'll be looking at some stop losses and stop losses is a point of separation. So people are usually either on one side, others are on the other side. Other people use it when it depends, when they feel like, other people feel like they don't need to use it. Some people feel like certain pairs don't need stop losses. You just put another tu kivyako. But today we'll talk about it, and I'll kind of give you a why. We'll kind of talk about why people use stop losses, what it's supposed to be used for, why it was created, why you should use it. And even if you decide not to use it, you should still know why you're not using it. Personally, I always advocate for. I still can't share my screen. Host disabled.
Okay, let me just make you host. Let me just make you host, Kimani.
Okay. So as he's doing that, I can just say for anyone that's writing the notes, a stop loss is it basically does exactly what it says. It's designed to stop your loss. And the reason that's important, before I get to the chart here, the reason that's important is because, or for you to appreciate that, you have to understand how trading works. Okay? Trading is not a game of winning every race. The point of trading is not to win, get more wins, and not lose. That's not the point of trading. The point of trading is to win more times than you lose, to reduce that ratio. But that ratio never goes to zero. Meaning, traders, and this is a very easy concept to understand, but hard to grasp with, because really I've never really been introduced to anything like this. Even me, I still struggle with it. Traders have to embrace losses. You have to look at losses as a core. It's something that it's part of the wins. It's not this bad thing that exists out there that you're trying to dodge. It's something you're supposed to absorb. Okay? Now, if you're in an industry where you cannot avoid losses, meaning they are really out there and you must go through them, the only defense you have, or the most solid defense you have, is a stop loss. Because a stop loss, like I said, first, stops your loss. But second, it protects for the days that you are wrong. Okay? For example, if your strategy is 70-30%, a ratio of 70% to 30%, 70% wins, 30% losses. That means there's 30% of the time that you're going to lose. Now, most people tend to think subconsciously, if that's your ratio, it means you win 70 times, you lose 30 trades. You win 70 trades, you lose 30 trades. For some reason, people normally assume that they can predict when these 30 losses are going to come. You don't know. Okay? Your first week, maybe your first 10 trades can be losses. Maybe your first 10 trades can be wins. You don't know when these losses are going to come. All right? I know some people who, with their strategies, the first week was just losses, but they had to keep going because they are chipping away at 30%. And this only works, by the way, if you have a strategy that's actually proven. So for those days that you are wrong, ladies and gentlemen, you have to have a stop loss. Otherwise, the market, 9 times out of 10, will go for your account. So that's the reason you have a stop loss. For example, this pandemic that has just happened, I think I've had some people who lost, I don't know how many thousands of dollars. I think I had someone who had lost even $1 million. That's not supposed to happen. That's why a stop loss is there. For times like this, when a pandemic happens, and this is a huge case. But there are other cases like when Trump decides he's saying something, when Europe decide they're doing something, which it's very hard for you to follow. You even have no time to follow. Okay, you need a stop loss in place so that you don't wake up the next morning, or you don't go to the washroom, come back, go and make a cup of tea, come back, and find your account is gone. So that's the first reason you use stop losses, is to protect your account. But the first one is to control money management. Second one is to protect your account. The third one is just for you to be comfortable. Me, I remember, and up to today, when you're in a trade, those emotions, you are not prepared for them. It doesn't matter how cool, calm, collected you are. There's just something about being in a trade that, your emotions are just dancing. Your heart, even if your face doesn't look like you're just on the phone all the time, you're anxious. So you're told not to trade when you're driving or in a meeting or any other serious thing, because it's very hard. So a stop loss helps to relieve some pressure, because if it hits your stop loss, you are aware of the loss. It's not a knockout blow. In boxing, we usually say, my dad used to do boxing, usually tells me that the reason people get knocked out is because you didn't see the punch coming. That's the punch that knocks you out, the one you didn't see coming. So if you can see it, you get hit, but you're still in the fight. But if it blindsides you, you are not prepared for it, that's the one that knocks you out. And a knockout trading is when you start doing other things, modifying your trade and going against your current strategy. Okay, so that's just for an introduction to kind of the philosophy of how the stop loss works. So if you guys can see my chart here, just type in 111 so that I know if I can continue with doing an example. And also, as we do that, where can I see the chart? Yeah, okay. Also, as we do that, I would like an example. Usually I work best with some real life examples. I'd like to to ask anyone to volunteer. You can just unmute. And then we kind of look through this. Anyone can just unmute, and then we go through this. We pick away at this topic, the live example. I will not continue without a participant. I need a volunteer. Absolutely anybody.
Guys, you can just unmute and be.
You can just unmute yourself. Make sure you're unmuted. Maybe somebody's talking in there.
Mo.
Hey, no,
Hello.
it's okay. Iko poa.
Fatma, are you willing?
Hello.
Yeah, I've unmuted, but although I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Can
That's
you
all
hear me?
right. Yes, I can hear you. That's all right.
All right, then.
I will lead you through it. How are you doing, Fatima?
I'm very good, thanks. And you?
So you can see my chart, and you.
Yes, I can.
So, and you can see where my cursor, how it's moving.
Yes, I can.
Okay, so I just want to walk to kind of get some feedback from you, because I want us to take a trade here, hindsight, obviously, but I want to kind of pick at how you would put a stop loss. We won't be focusing too much on take profit, but we'll be focusing on how you're going to get into this trade.
Okay.
So I want us to get into this trade for a buy. Of course, we are being biased, but with good reason. I want us to get in on a buy somewhere. Not somewhere, but exactly there. So we'll get in for a buy there. Now let me just ask, in your dream account, in your dream beginner's account, how much does it have? If you're going to
$10,000.
imagine, yeah, $10,000. Okay, take us a bit slowly. A bit slowly. Let's divide that by 10. For the sake of mathematics.
Okay, no worries. Okay.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people here, 100,000, you wanaona, okay. Now I'm serious if I put 100,000.
Okay.
Fatma, you are beating the chairman league. Let's come back.
Okay, I'm back.
Right, so you have $1,000, okay?
Okay.
Now, if you have $1,000, which is 100,000 Kenya shillings, every time you enter a trade, Fatma, how much are you okay losing that it won't affect you entering the next trade? Assuming you have this $1,000.
$30.
$30. And if you're willing to risk every time you enter a trade you're willing to risk $30.
Well, okay, it would be $10, but again, I'm just following the books, like 3%.
No, let's throw away me and the books. You are supposed to be acting like
I threw away the books.
Yeah, me, I'll be representing the books. You'll be just as Fatma. You see, this is the thing. This is the thing about stop losses and entering trades. You throw away the books either way. Most people that I know, the emotions get to a point you're just like, you know what? Let me just try what I want. So that's why I'm asking you, how much would you, as Fatma, if you had $1,000 in your account and you enter a trade and it went south, how much would you lose and you'd be like, damn it, but it's okay. Let me enter another.
Okay, I'd say $5.
$5.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you have $1,000, as per the books, your lot size is 0.1 because we are using 0.01 every $100. You umesikia mahali?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So if you have $1,000, we are using 0.1 lot size. If you're comfortable only losing $5, that's every time you enter a trade, $5 inafanya sawa. How many pips is that in terms of a stop loss, assuming your lot size is 0.1? 0.1, that means it's $1 per pip, right? $5 means it's 5 pips. So you're only okay with a stop loss that's 5 pips away from entry. For example, let me show you what that means here. And I hope everybody is following it. Back to our chart here. Since tumeingia hapo, let's see how much 5 pips is. Try about there. Somewhere there. I can't even see there.
Very kidogo. It's like 5 pips or what?
Yes, it's 5 pips.
Yeah, it's half of the point what point because 0.10 is
$1 per pip.
$1, yeah.
Yes,
so for my $5, right. That's 10, right?
No, for you to lose if your lot size is 0.1,
yeah,
it means $1 per pip.
Yes.
Per pip is $1. So if you're only okay losing $5, that means
half
5 pips.
Yeah.
5 pips. So a visual representation, and I hope everybody is seeing. You see this line I've put here, this red one? That's the movement of 5 pips for price. So you can see already your stop loss, as much as this is your most comfortable, it's so tight that you'll probably almost hit stop loss. For example, here we entered okay. If we enter here, you'd still be okay. You'd be in the trade. In fact, you'd be in the trade up to $28. I mean, 28 pips. Okay, for about 3 hours. But you can see this drastic pullback here.
Yes.
So if your take profit was anywhere higher than 28 pips, if you are going for 30 pips, for example,
yeah,
you would have been hit by stop loss here at about the 6th hour.
Yeah,
you have collected your stop loss and a couple of anyone else who was doing 5, 10 pips stop loss, and then go back to give the huge benefits. So for an account like yours, $1,000 only willing to risk $5 is too tight. Umeshikilia nini sana, like almost like you're
tight-fisted.
Yeah, tight-fisted. Utaki kupatiana. You're just like you're too defensive.
Okay.
Yeah, Yeah. So you have to be willing to risk more. So one of the
Yeah, that's
things
why I
for
said
anyone who's taking,
$30, but you
you said
sounded
30.
like you. Yeah, well,
Oh, sorry, maybe I
3%.
didn't. Yeah.
What's
Maybe I
3?
didn't.
What's 3%? Let me just see what
3% would be that $30. You're right. You had said 30.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I said I was following the books.
Oh, sorry. But let's do the 30 now. We have come back to the, but I wanted to discredit that $5, that 5 pips.
But
So
you
that
know,
people can see.
$5. You know, to tell you the truth is really something that sounds like you can lose and okay, you're fine. You know.
True.
But
That's
30 is
true.
the reality,
Yes,
right?
30 is kind of, you are starting to make some sense now. You're like, okay, yeah, you're in the market now. So $30, if we were to do the same mathematics, that means 30
Okay.
pips.
Mm-hmm.
Since we are doing a dollar per pip. So your stop loss would kind of be looking something like this. Like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where this red is.
Mm-hmm.
You can see it.
Yes, I
Let
can.
me put a horizontal line there. Yeah, that's where your stop loss would be, where this horizontal line. So this is a very good trade. If we are just using a stop loss based on you going by the books, which is 30.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And really not by the books, this is just really what you're comfortable with. Like it makes sense. If you have $1,000 and you lose $30, it's not too much of a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Assuming you have a good strategy, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, for anyone that's writing notes, that's the first thing to consider when you're putting a stop loss. How much you have to figure out as per your account, how much are you comfortable losing? And then figure out the mathematics of how many pips is that. Right? That's the first thing, is you as the trader, what are you comfortable losing? And mixing that, like Fatma has done, mixing the books, mixing your personal, look at it. You see, now we've looked at it with Fatma and we're like, yeah, $5 is a good amount to lose, but for this, it doesn't make sense. So again, you adjust. But all this is just going by how is your account? How is your relationship with your money? How much are you willing to risk? That's the first thing you consider when putting a stop loss. The second thing, which is now very important, which is what I want to get to, and is why I have the chart, is, let me delete this, is market structure. I'm sure we've all heard of market structure. Fatma, you've heard of market structure?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, meaning where price has been in the past. So can you help me, can you notice anywhere, assume you can't see past where we have entered the trade.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's obvious you can see how low it went, how high it went, but assuming you're ignoring that,
Mm-hmm.
where would you put a stop loss
Mm-hmm.
based on where price has been in the past or how it has behaved in the past? Assuming you're entering here and you want to put a stop loss.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just looking at where price has been before. Where would you put a stop loss?
I'd put it where this this thing, what is it called? This blue thing.
Which one? This one?
I'm calling it this blue thing, the indicator.
Oh, this indicator, it's called an SMA. Huh?
Yeah, I'd put it, where it's touching the red.
Right here.
Yeah, I'd consider that first.
Okay, let me put a line there.
Then I'd look whether there's a support there. Then if it's not
So
so
let's
good, I'd go
check
to
that. Let's check that, right?
looks
Let's
like there's a
check here.
good support. Yeah.
Yeah, let's check that. I like that you're using those words. Basic, but extremely powerful. So to check, again, you can check here on the 1 hour. So obviously where you've put it, something is happening there, right? Something is definitely happening in that area.
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, if you look in the past, somehow prices is running away from there, or when it gets there, it's consolidating.
Yeah.
It's just behaving somehow. So sometimes I like to go on to confirm it, it's good to go on a higher time frame. Since you've already placed it, so we go to the 4 hour, just to see if it makes more sense.
Yep.
Try
And it does.
make this a bit more beautiful. Yes, right there where it is, it does. Makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
Right there. If we can go here in the past, do we see anything else? Definitely. Hapo kuna kitu. So you're right in putting it there. And
Yep.
so now we go back to the 1 hour and we try and merge these two concepts of where you put a stop loss.
Yeah.
One, where price has been before, right?
Yeah.
I mean, no, one, how much are you comfortable losing? And two, where price has been before. So right now, if we check that stop loss where you've put it, how many pips is that?
Let me see. Where was our other one? Okay. Oh, that you want to check. Okay.
Yes, I want to check how many pips. This stop loss that you have put just now based on market structure, it's about 48.1 pips. So if it hits that stop loss with
It
your
means
0.1, yeah,
$48.
$48, $48.1. So now you have to ask yourself, you have to merge those two things. Am I willing to risk an extra 10 or an extra 18? Right? Because market structure doesn't, you're the one who cares about your account. Market structure doesn't care. It just knows this is where I've been, this is where I can go later.
Sure.
Or if you're wrong. So you see those two things, how you have to merge them.
Yeah.
Those are, guys, those are the two things you need to focus on when you're putting a stop loss. How much are you willing to lose? And how much and where price has been before. Notice I've not talked about the opportunity. At hii inaweza enda 100, 1,000 people. I've not said anything like that. Because we're talking about a stop loss. We're talking about playing defense. We're not reached offense yet. Offense, that's where your strategy exists. Your strategy is what tells you how many pips you can be able to get based on, again, price action. But now we're just talking about stop loss. We have gone very logical, basically, on how price has acted before, and then also very subjective, meaning you, as the person that's getting into the trade, you also don't want to get into a trade and yes, you can win 30 pips, but the whole time you're just going through anxiety. That doesn't make sense, business sense, long term. You're not supposed to be anxious for the rest of your life in a trade. So thank you so much, Fatma.
Thank you.
And before you disappear, do you have any other questions? Because I'd like to open it up for Q&A. Do you have any question?
Me, myself?
Yes.
No, I've actually learned something. So I'm glad. Yeah.
Okay, asante sana. Anybody else that has a question, you can ask now. I don't know if George, did you do your Q&A or we are mixing them now? I see Faith.
We can just
we're doing together. Okay.
Yeah, there's a question.
So you guys, I've seen Faith has raised her hand. What we can do, you can just ask a question and direct it to either George or myself.
Okay, there's one on the chat box, Fred.
No, I don't usually see this chat box.
Okay, this is it. Hope you're hearing. Okay. Is it what I'm willing to risk also a function of whether I am a scalper, intraday trader, or a swing? If I can wait out, can I put my stop loss very high in the expectation that the market would go where I expect my TP to be?
Just repeat the last part again. I've gotten the first part, repeat the last part.
If I can wait out, can I put my stop loss very high in the expectation that the market will go where I expect it to be? Where I expect my TP to be, sorry.
Okay, so that's sounding like a trail, couple of questions there. So the first one, it's good you have asked about being a scalper. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about a scalper, all right? Because some people feel like scalpers and intraday traders, and positional traders have different rules. Not really, because they all have to understand how the market is moving. For example, let's just go back to this very example here. Okay, this trade Euro USD. How did it behave? Is that Faith who asked? If it's Faith, follow me here. When you entered here, in 3 hours, it went up 20 pips, is that 27 pips. Over the next 6 hours, it went down negative about 19 point or 20 pips. Yeah, about 20 pips to eventually go up and top off at, I can't see this. It eventually went and topped off at 91 pips, about 93 pips after 19 hours. So this is the reality of this trade, okay? So an intraday trader is basically somebody that looks at the same trade, this same trade here, all right? And they're willing to just wait more hours. Their goal is more pips, okay? A scalper is not somebody doesn't want all those pips. That's not what it is. A scalper just wants to be in and out. So a scalper would still eat this 93 pips, for example, but essentially not really 93 because that's 19 hours. A scalper would maybe come for, I don't know, maybe these 4 hours or something like this. Yeah, maybe somewhere here, unless they keep re-entering again. But let's just say they come for these 4 hours. It's a crazy scalper who's on the computer for 4 hours. They're just on it. So what they would do is they would first of all, they would go to a lower chart. You would not be on the 1 hour if you're a scalper. Let's go to maybe the 30 minutes, see how that looks. Yeah, right here. So a scalper would get in here. As soon as this goes up to like 10 pips, they get out, and then they wait for another entry. So maybe they would enter here again, okay? As soon as it goes up another 10 pips, they get out, look for another entry. Maybe they enter here, 10 pips, they're out. They start seeing this pullback and they're not coming in. They're waiting for another entry because they've done the same analysis as an intraday, knowing that this can give a certain amount of pips. So for a scalper, it's the same trade. You're entering the same trades. And that's why I like Lilo's trades from Fierrrce, because you can enter them as a scalper and also as an intraday. So it's the same exact trade. You might catch a few, you might catch less pips than an intraday trader, but again, it suits your kind of how you trade and what makes you comfortable. But a scalper is looking at the same exact chart, right? You're looking at the same exact, you can even do the same exact strategy. You just need to be able to know, you can't escape knowing how price can move from point of resistance to support. So that's for the scalper. And then for a trading stop loss is I've mostly seen it used by intraday, not necessarily scalpers, but I'm sure there's a way you can use it. It's just not my style. So this was the stop loss that Fatma gave us. This is the stop loss that Fatma gave us right here, the horizontal line. So what you do, let's assume you entered this trade where? Somewhere here. All of this is in hindsight, but it's just for the purposes of training. Let's assume you entered a buy here, and this was your stop loss. You caught this move early. Another thing about trailing stop loss, you need to be able to get a move in early. You can't be entering up here, at the end of the move. That's another story. But you get in here for a buy, this is your first stop loss. So price moves all the way somewhere up here. So what you do is you take your stop loss and you move it up there. You go into your phone and you take the stop loss and you change it, take it up there. Now, some people do that with the same trade, the same live trade going on. Okay, and then as price keeps going higher, they keep moving the stop loss higher, and as it keeps going higher, you move it higher. Maybe you can even be checking the previous point of support to kind of help you trail the price. It goes maybe a bit higher there, you push it higher, and then eventually it will come back down and trigger the stop loss. But you, from your entry, you will have safely gotten 32 pips. Why do I say safely? Or rather risk-free? Because now your stop loss is inside profit. It's higher than where you entered, which means you're in a risk-free trade. You can literally go to sleep and your price is going to end up hitting your stop loss, but you end up with a profit. So this is now called a stop profit, kind of something like that, call it that. But the best way to do it, and here follow this, a bit of a long answer because she touched on something I wanted to go over. The best way to do to have a trailing stop loss, again, I don't know if you can do this as a scalper, is to twin trade. Twin trade basically means, okay, let's say you want to enter this trade like Fatma said, we're entering here with lot size of what, 0.1. That's the lot size we want to use, 0.1. So what you would do is you would enter the same trade twice, but with half the lot size. So you enter 0.1 trade 0.05, another trade 0.05, but the same trade, and you click that entry when you're going into MetaTrader, you click it twice. But you make sure each of those trades has 0.05 so that the sum of them is still 0.1. So you're still true to your to the rules of how you put your, what's this called, lot size. So you'd enter both trades. Both of them would have the same stop loss, all right? Both of them would have the same stop loss. One of them would have your target take profit according to your strategy. So for example, let's say your target take profit from here is 30 pips. Is it somewhere there? Let me see if I can put it as green so that it in a fresher match. Yeah, that's your target take profit. So one of them, both of them, remember, have the same stop loss down here, which is black, both of the trades, but only one of them has the target take profit. The other one doesn't have a take profit, okay? So what happens when price gets here? One of your trades will close. And as soon as that happens, for the other trade that's continuing, you move it into entry or just above entry, you move it into profits. And now you use this new trade to now trail, use it as just to catch as much profit as you can. And you have its stop loss. Remember, it doesn't have a take profit. So it will only be removed by a stop loss. So you keep, as price keeps going up now as we're talking, as price keeps going up here, you move your stop loss. You keep moving it up, of course, in a systematic way, until it's triggered. But that way it allows you, the reason you do this, it allows you to catch as much profit as you can. But more importantly, as soon as price goes into your stop loss, you put it above entry. You're in a risk-free trade, which means your margin is basically zero, which means you can go and enter other trades as per your strategy. So that's a long answer. I hope I have answered it. Any other question?
That is confirmed by Fierrrce. It's an excellent answer, Fred. Thank you. Any other person with a question? Maybe you can.
I'm seeing people raising their hands.
Oh, you can just call. You can just call them out. I can't see them from here.
Yeah, let me see. It has disappeared. Can you raise your hand again so that I see? You can, in fact, you can just unmute. Or I don't know if the host, am I the host?
Yeah.
If I have to unmute you, do I have to unmute them?
No, they can
I think they
unmute.
can unmute themselves. So you can just unmute yourself.
It's
I
Faith,
think I saw Hassan.
Faith Mogambi.
I also saw Faith. So
Yeah,
just unmute
hi.
yourself and then you can ask. Hi.
My question is to Fred about what you've been talking about
Yes.
today. If
Yes.
I'm using $100 account with the lot size of 0.01, and let's say I'm going in for a buy or a sell, and I want to do
Okay.
10 pips because of the size of my account.
Okay.
If I'm selling and I do 10 pips, how many pips should I use for my stop loss? Should they be twice the pips I've taken for my take profit, or how does someone go about it?
So here's another good tool. I like your questions are just leading me to what I would talk about. That's Faith, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Okay, okay. So Faith, let's assume it's this trade, the same one we took with Fatima. Except now your account is $100.
Yes.
Right? So you would use a lot size of 0.01,
Yes.
which means you're trading with 0.1 per pip. You're saying your target take profit is 10 pips.
10 pips, yeah.
Okay. How much are you, we could just ask the same question. How much are you willing to lose, to risk with your $100 account? How much would you lose and you're like, not a big deal?
Probably $5.
$5. With your lot size of 0.1, that would take you how many pips? 50 pips. That would be 50 pips, okay? So your stop loss, you're okay with it being 50. You're okay with it being 50 pips. As soon as we enter here, let's try and plot what that looks like. Something like, see if I can get it exact, something like that.
Okay.
Plot horizontal. So let me turn this to black. So that's where your stop loss is in this very trade. And your take profit, you want it to be 10, no, you said $10. So that would be how
Yeah,
many?
I want to do 10 pips.
That would be 100 pips with your account, with your lot size, I mean. So from entry here, we are looking for 100 pips somewhere there. This would be your targets. So basically, your risk to reward ratio is what? 1:2. So you're risking, because you're okay risking $5 to gain $10. That's good. So the least you should be willing to risk is 1:1. Meaning if you're willing to risk $5, then the least you should be aiming for is $5, the least. So it's good you're doing even 10, that's okay, as long as it's more than 1:1. But seeing as we've looked at this trade before with Fatma, we can see it didn't quite hit 100 pips, right? But neither does it hit your stop loss. So what you would do in this situation is you need to have been twin trading. That would have helped you. Either you're twin trading, but if you're not twin trading, let's assume you're not twin trading, you just need to watch it. You need to watch it, and you can still be able to move your take profit. I mean your stop loss. Because for example, when it makes this big move right here, you can see my cursor. When it made this big move right after this, it looked like it was going for your stop loss, and then it rejected off that, which means there's something going on here, which means you would have been able to take your stop loss and move it a bit up. So you secure some you make sure you're in a risk-free trade.
Okay.
But you see what I'm talking about? It's very important to know where price has been. You don't just put, you don't just say, I want 100 pips, and you've not looked at if the market can move 100 pips. Let me get another tool, which I forgot to show you guys. There's another tool here that helps visualize. You said you're going for a buy. This is called the long position, short position tool. I don't know if it has another name. So this shows you how your trade looks. So you would be aiming for 100 pips. You can see it changing up there. And your stop loss was 50 pips. Yeah, like this. And you can see the ratio is about 1:2. It's about 1:2. If I get my English correct, you can see 1.9, 1.99.
1 is about 2.
1:2. Yeah, so this is how your trade would look. This would be your target. You can see it didn't reach your target up there, which would be 100 pips. But because, again, because Faith, you would be on a laptop or you would be looking at it the way I'm showing you here, when you start seeing it misbehaving coming down here, you just exit. Why?
Okay.
Because we trade the same way you put a target for a stop loss by checking where price has been before is the same way you put for a take profit. Because price just moves between those two things. Previous support, which was resistance, to the next previous support, which was resistance. That's how price moves between those areas. So even for your target, which was 100 pips here, you would need to plot that line and check if that's a valid point where price has been and can it go there again. So you can see, yes, this is about an area where you can target this area, yes, as you are right. But you see, price never does what you want all the time.
Okay.
So it moved up, and you can just come out of the trade when you start seeing it misbehaving. So it's good to be alert. I hope that has answered the question.
Okay. Yes. Thank you.
Hi. Next person. As we close, I think we are getting close to time. I saw Hussein.
Hi, could you please talk about pending orders?
Pending orders. Pending orders. It's, for example, going back to where we had put the buy somewhere there. So a pending order is when you go on your phone and you tell the system, when price reaches here, put me in a buy. So you put this exact price here, exactly where you want it to come in. You will put the stop loss and you'll put the take profit. Notice, doesn't matter whether you put pending order, market execution, buy stop, sell stop. All those things don't matter if you have not analyzed. So it's good you have asked that question now after we've analyzed. So what you would just do, a pending order, difference between market execution and a pending order is market execution, you would just enter right here yourself, just the way we usually enter. But a pending order, you would have to have analyzed and see that this can be a potential pullback, either here or here. You'd have to be very good at analyzing to be able to put your pending orders. So it's just basically you go into your, it's 4 different forms of executing a trade. So you just go into your MetaTrader, then you change market execution to pending order. But these things depend on strategy. These things depend on strategy. A lot of the things in trading depend on the strategy you're using. So if your strategy is a pending order kind of strategy, then you will be shown how to use it by the person who uses that strategy. Most of our strategies here are market execution because it's just simpler. Because pending order, you have to really be good at realizing these areas where price has been, and being able to predict that it's actually going to hit your pending order. Definitely. And, go with the flow and put you into the trade. So yeah, that's about pending orders. But I would say to use it now depends on your strategy. Hope that has answered.
Yes, it has.
Okay.
All right. So I think because of time, we are behind time. We're going to stop it at that point. And let's hope that everyone will just go and practice, because education without any practice, any action on your side may not be of much help, ladies and gentlemen. So because of the other calls which are going on right now, I'll just pass it to Lilo, say a word, then close for us. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you, Fred, for that awesome.
Hold on, George. I'm seeing one very easy question to answer here before we close from Joyce. She's asking about using TradingView. Of course, I won't explain the whole thing, but Joyce, this TradingView, there's so many ways to customize it to your own liking. So I would urge, go in there and try and play with everything. For example, when you right click, it brings this, and you can go and change this color scheme from light to dark, and you can go to settings here. You can go to settings and you can change a whole lot of things here. So just go and check all that. Go and check on all that.
Don't get mad because I don't want to get mad at you.
Okay, thank you very much, Fred. That has been awesome teaching. You're just a good teacher, man. I just like your patience. Thank you very much.
Asante sana.
Karibu sana, Lilo. Close it for us.
All right. Awesome. Really great training. I mean, you guys are so impressive. I've also learned something myself, even as a trader. And I really just want to thank everyone who has been patient to, just stay here until now. It's now, a couple of minutes after 9, but you're still here and you're all asking questions. Very good questions tonight. There's someone who has a question. Oscar, I don't know what your question is. Yes.
On MT4, how do you set up FX premiums? Because
it's there. If for the live account, if you have a live account with Primus, they have sent you an email with your username and your password and the server name. So the server name that you're given is the one you look for in MT4.
Yeah, because I've been looking for FX premiums now for 2 days.
No, it's not FX Primus. It's the server name you are given.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Let me check my.
Yeah. Okay, so I hope that's clear. Yeah. So is Fred in the 52 weeks group? Yes, he is. He's part of I Am. All of us here in the 52 weeks group, Faith. So I hope you can, if you want, you can reach out to him. So George and Fred, asanteni sana. It's been an amazing evening. I can see this session is very popular. So next week, guys, again, as you saw today, we began bang on time at exactly 8 o'clock. So next week we start again at 8 o'clock. And you can come with more questions. If you want a recording of this session as well, it's up on our YouTube channel. We'll share a link after the call. So thanks, guys, and have a lovely evening to all the members. Thank you once again for your time. We see you next Monday, same time. So bye. Thank you, George. Thank you, Fred. Good night. Bye.
Good night, everyone.